All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. This is my microphone. I'm cool. All right. Do you guys know why you're here tonight? You're all irritated at how much Jess is asking you to slow down, and you're like, this can't be good for me. This is ridiculous. No way is this going to help my performance, right? All of these questions. Are some of those accurate? Yes. Okay. So I'm here to tell you that with 100% certainty that this is going to increase not only your performance, but also your health. With certainty, I've seen it. People feel better, perform better. Long term, this is going to take you guys way beyond where you are right now. I'm seeing it daily. We've been incorporating this at Treetown for a good year now. We've been testing for 6 months at Treetown, and we are seeing dramatic improvements. We've sent all of our data and our study to Pinoe, who makes the analysis device that we use. And at the time when we sent it, we only had 30 people that we had done a pre and a post on. And out of those 30 people, 22 of them had a significant improvement in their aerobic capacity. Okay. Aerobic capacity, and how I'm generalizing it, we can utilize that as stress and strain during exercise, right? And we're finding that by the RER number that we were watching on our phones. That's a direct indication of how hard you are working, both at rest and at work. Can we all kind of understand that? And I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about here on this first graph here. Some of you I got the chance to, some of you Kate got this informed, but I'll just kind of let you know. Blue is O2 in, red is CO2 being exhaled. Got it? Can we all assume that the more O2 we bring in and the less CO2 you take out, you're going to feel better? You're not working as hard, just standing, walking. And then when this gets pushed here, exercising, training, getting after it. Got it? So if really we want to have a conversation around health, we're just going to assume that utilizing oxygen, easier, better, more, is going to be healthier. Yes? Okay. Now let's just pretend for a minute that that's going to have an effect on your performance. Right? Because some people want to say to me, this doesn't have enough science, this isn't proven, blah, blah. I could promise you this stuff is not anything new. How I'm trying to get you all to train with this ticker training has been done for 40 years in the endurance world. Okay, if you study enough and you listen to enough people, 90% of endurance athletes spend their time in an aerobic state of training. They spend less than 10% above or in threshold. Got it? Now, you might say, my friend runs blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about your friend. I'm talking about elite level athletes, right? And if you study enough of them, you will find the same thing. They spend 90% aerobically, 10% anaerobic. Got it? Threshold work. Why do elite athletes perform this way? I'm assuming because they want to be at their best. Yes? Okay. Why would we think that we would be different than that? Got it? Well, I can tell you why. Because there were studies done on high intensity training versus low intensity training, and the high intensity training over 4 to 6 weeks showed greater improvement. Well, no kidding. Of course it does. Right? If you take a deconditioned person and apply a whole bunch of intensity compared to low intensity over a 4-week period, 6-week period, even a year, the intensity is going to win out in that case. What we're proving is that, now I'm talking performance, if you were to do it study like this, no way. You might see an improvement in overall, ability to pull oxygen in, but you're going to see a decrease in how quick and how easily you assimilate oxygen. You will pull more carbohydrates. You'll exhale more CO2. Cool? You with me? Now, what I'm saying is if you can just be patient with yourself and with this process, you're going to become healthier, stronger, faster than you can imagine. Everybody that I introduce this to that has been CrossFitting for 4 plus more years, and they start doing this, they're just like, oh, what have I been doing to myself? And why? Why didn't somebody talk to me about this when I started? Okay? Because really, all we've been doing is damaging our aerobic systems. Maybe after the first year of making some changes and adapting, right? We all remember that first year. Every day you came into the gym, you were getting better. Then over the next 1 to 2 years, those PRs got a little less, and you just kind of thought, well, that's just how it is. I'm getting near my potential. Or you were in and out of injury, right? You'd get really good, then my back hurt. Get really good, now my knee hurts. Get really good, now my shoulder hurts, right? Those are all just signs that it's too much stress, too much strain for you to adapt to at an appropriate pace. Who adapts really fast to that? More resilient people, right? You can apply a whole lot of stress and strain to a really resilient person, a really aerobically robust person. Most of us aren't that, right? Most of us have a lot of other stresses in our life. Most of us don't sleep at least 8 hours a night. We eat too much sugar, right? We fight too much with our spouse. We argue with our kids. You know, we have a stressful job. We're on our feet. All these things create stress, right? Now, what I'm proposing to you and what we're finding with your math heart rate that we're giving you is an appropriate amount of stress for you to be able to train at for a lifetime that should increase your performance throughout your life. Now, at some point, we're going to get to that age where we're no longer able to build muscle and we're going to start to have some decline. But that shouldn't happen at 30 years old. It shouldn't happen at 40 years old. Unless you are like an elite level 30-year-old. Maybe by 40, you're not quite as good as you were at 30. You guys all with me on this? Right? So this math heart rate is an opportunity for you to manage and monitor your health on a daily basis. It's a good spot. It's fine. She's fine. Right? See you later, bro. Right? So when people ask me, why do you like to train so much, Max? Well, it used to be because I like to, beat myself into a hole, earn my fitness, try to, it started when I was like 7, and I'd run down the lane and I'd run back. We lived on a farm, and I'd, try to do it as fast as I could and tell my dad how fast it was, and he'd give you a good job, right? Well, what happens is that turns into 2 miles because, dad's not impressed anymore, right? You guys following me? So all of this path of needing this high intensity, I know it makes you feel good. I know there's a reward, that makes you feel like you've earned something. We've been taught that. I get it, right? You have to earn your fitness. You have to earn your health. Well, we're proving and we're seeing that is not the case. You have to earn it by time and commitment to it, just showing up now, right? We used to say that, showing up. I have a lot of people that I've talked with about this Pinoy system from other gyms. And it's hard for me to really sell it because I know if they're not going to do something like we are doing for you guys, they're buying a unit or a system to prove that they're making you worse, right? We bought this to prove and to make a point that we are improving people's aerobic capacity. We're going to improve your performance by monitoring your stress and strain through this test. Got it? And to give you guys an understanding, an RER of 0.75 is where you are assimilating and pulling in as much oxygen essentially as you can without exhaling any CO2. Or let me rephrase that, an appropriate amount of CO2. That's your math. That's where you utilize the most oxygen efficiently. That's how I want to say that. Got it? So when you train at that, you get it better and better and better. There's a certain point, we all have a genetic potential that we can't outlive, but if your math is 180 beats minus your age or better, you're a pretty healthy individual. Generally, you feel pretty good most of the time. You're probably relatively lean. You manage stress. You don't get sick a lot during the year. You guys get all this stuff, right? So we want you to be a really robust aerobic athlete. So when stress and strain, sickness comes at you, it doesn't affect you. You come in here and you want to get after it on a hard workout, it doesn't affect you. You adapt to it, you applied that strain, and it doesn't have a negative impact on your life. Meaning you can get out of bed, come again tomorrow. Got it? How do you do it? Well, you got to slow down, right? How do you make 7 pull-ups aerobic? Well, you got to do 180 pull-ups aerobic. Got it? To get an adaptation, right? You got to get stronger. You have to get more resilient. You have to do reps at that heart rate. Part of the reason you guys' heart rates are so low right now is because you associate exercise with this really high intensity work. And the minute you walk in that door, your butt starts wagging like a dog, your adrenaline kicks on, and you just cannot wait to get after it. Is that fair to say? You love it. You love it, right? I did it. I know. And it's a stressful situation you've just put yourself in. Got it? What I want to do for you is I want you to walk in this door, just be like, cool, chill. I'm going to get my health and my fitness on today. I'm going to leave and I'm going to come back tomorrow because I'm going to apply an appropriate amount of stress that you can easily adapt to. Okay? By doing this, you will increase your ability to utilize fat as a fuel source. When I say the word fat tonight, I want you to also hear oxygen. The same. Okay? If you're utilizing fat as a fuel source, you are utilizing more oxygen than CO2 you are exhaling. And we've all agreed so far that that is less stress and strain, right? Okay, still with me? Okay. So real quick,